Welcome back and hello if you're new. So this week I decided to do something slightly different as opposed to my normal album reviews, and I'm going to be reviewing my first DVD. It's quite an interesting one to kick things off with. 25 Years in the Eye of the Storm pulls back Amon Amarth's armour to show not only where they've come from, but what they've learnt along the way. Combined as a brand new live DVD, CD, but also, most importantly for me, it's a documentary, 25 Years in the Eye of the Storm. Amon Amarth are potentially one of the biggest bands in modern metal, and this story essentially goes back to the roots of how the band found each other, how they began, the kind of wilderness years of their first couple of releases, moving more towards the midsection territory where people really began to understand that, hey, this is a band that could definitely headline festivals, right up to the modern day of Viking era Amon Amarth. Throughout the documentary, the entire thing is interspersed with various different interviews from music journalists, festival organisers, CEOs, label heads, so you really kind of get quite a well-rounded feel of not only Amon Amarth in terms of an entertainment capacity, but, you know, the band essentially as a live force. Midway through the DVD, we're kind of moved more into why the band decided to use Vikings and what exactly that as a connotation had. And you see these Viking reenactments happening, and it's very interesting, and it does paint a more well-rounded picture into the reasoning of why Amon Amarth have had, you know, this is kind of such a staple in their set. I didn't know that the Summer Breeze stage has got the T stage, which stands for Trenget. He was an organiser of Summer Breeze and a very, very close friend of Amon Amarth, and was actually the first person to suggest that they had people fighting on stage. And one big focus point of the DVD is the understanding of the fans. You know, you can tell that Amon Amarth are so enamoured with their fans, and they really understand that if it wasn't for the fans, they would be nothing. And I like it because it flips it on its head midway through as the band are taken to an Iron Maiden concert. And you can see that, you know, regardless of whatever your status may be in the metal world, everyone's always got those massive bands that they really look up to. But there are also some lovely clips of fans at Summer Breeze and Bloodstock, which really kind of show why they love Amon Amarth and what Amon Amarth means to them. So what is it you learn about the band? Well, throughout the documentary, as I mentioned, you know, it's interspersed with these various interviews. There are people from Metal Hammer scribe Dom Lawson, Doro Pesch, Metal Hammer editor Merlin Alderslade, Chris Santos, and particularly the Wacken and Summer Breeze guys. And it really does help you get a well-rounded feel for what the band really mean, and particularly Brian Slagel, actually, the label head of Metal Blade, one of the best record labels in the world. It gives you a sense of what Slagel looks for, I feel, in bands, because I feel like he's got this intuitive A&R touch to him. However, it's the sections of the Amon Amarth interviews, of course, where you discover so much more about the band. For example, I didn't know that the band went into the military service, and I didn't know that Vikings had not only very right-wing connotations, but also racist connotations as well, which kind of really didn't help the band as they were beginning. You even find out that Ted made a lot of the band's artwork in the beginning, and that their second show was supporting dissection. And there are some really lovely anecdotes that the band go through, and it really gives you a feel for what it must be like behind the scenes in the band. Though for me, one of my favourite bits was actually going behind the scenes to Viking producer Andy Sneap. And he really kind of takes you through the production process that the band had, particularly with Viking.
They're a Swedish death metal band from a small town singing about Vikings. They're just a great heavy metal band, and one of the great heavy metal bands of the 21st century.
In terms of pace, the DVD is really well laid out. It's very, you know, it's chronological. You could go in knowing nothing about Amon Amarth and then coming out understanding exactly what it is that they embody and what it means to be a metal fan and an Amon Amarth fan.
Amon Amarth is the Viking band.
Not to mention there's a good balance between the documentary side of it and the live aspect of it. So you're not kind of like just watching a massive show with some little bits of documentary stuck in. It's a kind of like a 50-50 balance, or if anything, maybe a 60-40. However, it would have been nice to see some stuff from Twilight of the Thunder God era, Deceiver of the Gods, that type of thing. I feel like that was kind of skipped over a little bit. And for me, Twilight has always been the quintessential Amon Amarth album. So it would have been interesting to see a little bit of that. But would a fan like this release? Personally, I think they would absolutely love it. You know, you go from understanding how Amon Amarth got together to what Amon Amarth really is. Most importantly, however, it underlines the importance of community. Getting under Amon Amarth's armour, there could have been some more time devoted to the later years, but hey, I'm not complaining too much. Overall, it's a great insight into the world of Amon Amarth, what makes them tick, and proving that they're more than just beer-drinking Vikings. Oh, and make sure to watch right until the end for a surprise, like Marvel level. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, something different. Let me know what you thought. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button. I've also got loads of album reviews, interviews, all sorts of stuff, and I do an apocalyptic anniversary series for Metal Sucks every week, which you can check out. Let me know what you think. Make sure to share if you can, and I'll see you guys next week for an album review, no doubt. Alright, take care guys.